Good morning student friends. In this video we will see forging technology. This is from unit 4, that is conventional forming processes. Now you are seeing in the picture anvil is there. Anvil, that is one type of tool used in case of forging process. That anvil is made up of die steel or tool steel. It is hardest material on which we have to carry out the hammering. This is the metal billet or the workpiece on which we have to work. This is a material. It is hammered from all its sides to obtain the desired shape, and the material is in the red hot condition, and that red hot condition of the metal is achieved by its heating above the recrystallization temperature or up to the plastic deformation temperature. You can see the operator is perform this forging operation. That's why this is called as a hand forging. This is a hammer. This hammer is called as a ball pen hammer. Function of the hammer is to apply the blows on the surface of this red hot metal to achieve its deformation. And this is the tongs. This tong is used to hold this workpiece. While studying the disadvantages of the hot working process, we have seen it is a difficult or troublesome to handle the workpiece which is in the red hot condition. This is the forging operation generally performed in the industry as well as in the society to produce the agricultural tools. Now we will see this in detail. Now what is metallurgy? Before start of this forging process, we have to study few of the basic part. That is, first is metallurgy. It is a branch of mechanical engineering which deals with extraction and processing of metals and alloys in a liquid and in a solid state at a profit. This metallurgy is a branch of engineering, mechanical engineering, which deals with processing of metals and their alloys. In industry or in a society, whatever parts are made, they are made up of 60 to 65% they are made up of metal. That's why extraction and processing of metals plays an important role, and that's why this metallurgy has a vital scope in the mechanical engineering. It is a branch of mechanical engineering. Now why metals and alloys? Metals and alloys has a different properties, that may be physical, mechanical properties, thermal, electrical, magnetic properties. That's why at a affordable cost or affordable value, you can process the metals and alloys as compared to other materials like epoxy resins are there, thermoplastics, thermosetting plastics are there. They are having more cost, their durability is less. That's why metal and alloys carry a very much importance in the industry. Metals and alloys acquire the size and shape, weight and strength due to its solid state. That's why metals and alloys have a 60 to 65% weightage in the industry, and although also they have other physical, mechanical, thermal properties. In mechanical engineering, we require about 55 to 60% of components made up of metals and alloys. If we are considering any kind of machine tool from our workshop, that is lathe machine, milling machine, drilling machine, shaper, planer, slaughter machine, broaching machine, boring machine, all these machine tools are made up of metal. Again, if we are considering the IC engine components or most of the components of the automobile, they are also made up of metal. Most of the components from agriculturals, aerospace industry, most of these are made up of metals and alloys. In aerospace industry, we are using the alloys which are having a lightweight. Their strength to weight ratio is maximum, means strength is more and weight is less, like NASPA alloy, Vastra alloy, Nemonics. All these are the alloys. These are the newer metals, they are used in the aerospace industry, and all these metals are having an application. That's why this metallurgy is very important to study. We require 55 to 60% of components made up of metal. Metal and alloys has a maximum applications due to its solid state. Now these are the crystal structures: body centered cubic, face centered cubic, tetrahedron. All these are the crystal structures. Metal possesses any one kind of these crystal structures. Now this is the stress strain diagram we have seen in a first year basic mechanical engineering, or at diploma level also we have studied this stress strain diagram for the metals. Up to elastic region, whatever green color region you are seeing in this diagram, in the elastic region stress is directly proportional to the strain. means whatever force we have applied on the metal up to its elastic region, the metal is going to regain its original size and shape. After this elastic region, plastic region will start, means as a stress will increase, that means stress and strain, they are not directly proportional to each other. Up to certain limit, the stress is increasing as a strain is increasing as a stress will increase, but beyond the failure point, the strain will directly deteriorates as a stress will increase. This is called as a failure point. Whatever deformation of the metal is taking place, we have to hammer the metal or we have to stretch the metal up to its plastic region. Means permanent deformation of the metal is only obtained in case of plastic region. Up to elastic region, whatever stress is developed is there, or after releasing of the externally applied force, the metal will regain its original size and shape. But in the plastic region, there is no possibility for the metal to regain its original size and shape. Means all the deformation processes works in this region, that is the plastic region. Material goes in the plastic stage. With a little hammering, it will deform its size and shape, and we can give the desired shape to that metal, that is the plastic region. This is the stress diagram for the metals. Now manufacturing means it is a conversion of raw material into semi-finished or finished product using resources. Semi-finished product means if we are considering the casting process, in case of casting, we are to increase its surface finish and accuracy, we have to go for the secondary machining. Means somehow semi-finished product we are producing by using the casting process. Or continuous casting, it is mostly applicable for the production of blooms, billets and slabs. These are also semi-finished product. And whatever machining processes are there, for that machining process we are converting the semi-finished product into finished product by using the machining processes. Understood? Now by using various resources of the management, that is man, machine, material, money, again energy, tools, knowledge, we have to convert the raw material into semi-finished or finished product, and that conversion of raw material into finished or semi-finished product is called as a manufacturing. Now processes means these are series of acts which imparts size, shape, utility to the product and perform its value addition. Series of acts means this process cannot be a single process. We have to convert that product from one stage to another stage. We have to apply the series of acts or series of operation on that raw material so that we can increase its utility. Utility means value addition, or usefulness. Utility means usefulness. We have to change, or we have to give, impart means give. We have to give desired size and shape, as well as we have to increase its usefulness so that we can add a value to that material, and that is called as a series of acts which will give size, shape and utility to the product, and also value addition of the material will takes place, and that is called as a processes. Now we will come to our point, that is forging. It is also manufacturing process where hot metal or alloy is shaped by applying force or pressure in the form of sudden blows. These are called as impact, or continuous pressure, that is called as a squeezing in a hot or cold solid state for ferrous and non-ferrous metals and alloys. Now this forging is also a manufacturing process. This falls under the category of deformation processes, and mostly we are doing forging operation at an elevated temperature or above the recrystallization temperature, or by heating the metal or alloy up to the plastic deformation temperature. And the deformation of the metal is achieved by the application of force or pressure in the form of sudden blows. Means directly upper die, lower die is there. Lower die is fixed to the anvil, upper die is attached to the hammer, and continuously blows of the hammer are applied on that red hot metal so that the metal will plastically flow into each and every details of the die cavity, and that is called as impact forging. And squeezing means we are applying the force in a progressive manner. Continuous pressure is applied on the metal in a continuous manner, that is called as a squeezing in hot or cold state. We have seen 99% forging operation is carried out in a hot condition, but for manufacturing of head of the bolt we are using the cold forging technique, and this is forging is applied for ferrous as well as non-ferrous metals and alloys. Forging, we have seen the practical application. Crane hooks, railway hooks are made up of forging. Again, connecting rod of the IC engine is made up of forging. Again, we can see the kick of the two-wheeler is a forging. Spanner is also made up of forging. You can see while releasing the nut from the bolt, understood, the operator is standing on that spanner, then also the spanner is not going to break, because that spanner is made up of forging operation. All these are the practical application of the forging. Or agricultural tools, you can see wear and tear of the agricultural tool is also very less, because these tools are made up of a forging operation. The force applied is a compressive, either impact or continuous compression. Compressive force we are applying on the red hot metal to achieve its deformation. This forging operation requires forging hammer, which is having capacity of 15 ton to 3500 ton. Forging dies, I told you in the introduction of the forming process that forging dies are made up of tool steel or die steel. Material cost as well as manufacturing process of the die is more. Generally dies are manufactured by EDM or wire jet machining. EDM or wire cut machining, that is an unconventional machining process. And the manufacturing of the die is also called as a die sinking operation. It requires forging hammer having capacity of 15 to 3500 ton. Again, dies are required, tool steels or die steel, that is the material of the die. And furnace, generally we are using induction furnace for heating of the metal from 350 to 1200 degrees centigrade, that is the capacity of the heating furnace required. These are some of the requisite required for the forging operation. Here we will stop. In the next lecture we will see the remaining part.